Hey guys, Cool Brick here with another set. This is the Trash Chomper from the Lego Movie. This is actually a pretty old set, but I wanted to review it anyway. I think it's pretty cool. You basically just got a modified, well, not even modified, basically a completely redesigned recycle truck. Even though it does say rubbish up here, you do have all these recycle logos everywhere. So it's a bit of a hybrid between a garbage truck and a recycle truck. After all, it is called the Trash Chomper. And then you do have a medium-sized micromanager here, and he's chasing that chef. So yeah, as you can see, you've got well, there's 3 minifigures. You can already see 2 of them here, and then there's one more garbage man in there. We can talk more about the minifigs later. And basically what you see is what you get. There are some nice action features in this. However, you can also, there are instructions included with the set to turn this thing into a actual working garbage or recycle truck. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. And after I talk about this this build here, I will go ahead and build this thing up into the actual truck form, and then we can take a look at that. So let me actually get these minifigures out of the way so we can talk a little more about the components of the set. Just pull this guy out of here, if I can. Get my large fingers in here. And we can take a look at the micromanager first. Over here. Just go ahead and lower the camera so we can get a very nice look at this. And as far as the micromanagers go, you know, they're pretty standard. It's basically just a black cube made up of some 4x4 plates. But this thing has some nice features. As you can already tell from back here, there are flick fire missiles. And if you're wondering how they get fired, you basically just pull up these panels, and then you can, you know, maybe take down some of the minifigures. If I just put this guy down there, let's see if I can get him. And don't know where that went. There we go. You know, as always with these flick fire missiles, they tend to just go everywhere when you shoot them. But you know, it does add play value, and I actually think they're pretty fun. They're little explosive little things. Found that other one, and as for that, so those just close up. That's very, very nice. Not too happy with these things sticking out the back, but you know, it is really cool that you get this feature here. You know, you're not expecting it. All of a sudden, this thing just opens up, and boom, you've got like 4 missiles coming at you. And you do have these arms here. These are extremely articulate. These can, as you can already see, they can go on this axis, this horizontal axis. However, you can also turn them like this, and then with the elbow hinge, you can, you know, decide which way that goes based on how this part is turned over here. You can also turn these hands basically at the wrist joint. So you can get quite a range of angles on here. Very simple little underside. I thought that looked really good. You know, it's like a little hovering thing. You know, very, very nice little thing. I really like this micromanager. As for the actual Trash Chomper, bring this thing in here. So, wow, you just get this big green hulking hunk of junk almost. You can see there's a bit of a few strange things. I think the way that they designed this actually was they actually did go ahead and build a garbage truck first, and then from the garbage truck, then they decided, then they used those pieces to try and you know, design the truck from the Lego Movie. So you know, that's why you've got a few odd pieces here and there. You know, you've got these clips that are open here, these Technic bricks that are open here. Try and change the camera a little bit here, so we're having some interesting lighting. It's a bit bright. I think this is better. As you can see, you do have like the 4 wheels. Here they're basically simulating the engines here. I thought that's nice. You have some rocket stabilizers basically. You can angle those up and down. You have these trash bins, which do contain some trash, even though it's has those recycle logos, as I mentioned. And you know, you've got the exhaust stacks and everything that you would actually expect the real truck to have. And you've got these pistons here, which I guess are, you know, basically cannons now. And I've basically pretty much been ignoring the main feature here. You can already start to see some gears in there. Hopefully this doesn't get stuck. There's an activation gear, a little knob here. I'm glad that they you know, have this in black and not in gray. I'm glad it kind of matches the color scheme here. Sometimes they put funny colors. And as you can see, it's called the Trash Chomper for a reason. It really will chomp down. And you can see there's some really nice stickers on here. And you can pretty much see the mechanism. And occasionally it will get a little bit stuck if I you know, really get this shut. And sometimes it gets stuck like this, as you can see. But you know, if you really get them shut together, sometimes there's a little bit too much friction in here to even though, and then sometimes I won't be able to turn this. Because as you can see, you can actually change the angle of these without even moving the gears because of the way this is built. And that's it's actually kind of a good thing. That way it resets itself in its position if it does get a little bit, you know, uncalibrated, I guess. But very, very effective thing. You really can chomp down on something. However, as far as the bad guy goes, you know, this guy doesn't exactly fit in here. Maybe if I open up these panels, kind of stuff him in here, you can kind of chomp down on him, but it doesn't exactly work. So it's really just a cool thing. You could definitely eat minifigures very well with this Trash Chomper. I just don't know about dealing with the micromanager. I guess you'll have to resort to these cannons on here, but I do just really love just the action of this. I'm sure kids would just enjoy, you know, just keep on, you know, chomping down. This thing is quite swooshable. There's a lot of space down here on the bottom to just grab it from. It's a very solid build, hollow on the inside, as I'm sure you noticed by looking in there. So you know, definitely something you can grab and fly around. Although it doesn't exactly seem like much of a flyer, considering how short and stubby the wings are and how big and fat the rest of the vehicle is. But you know, you take what you can get, and this is actually a pretty nice set. I really like this, just the whole concept of this. You know, obviously it did come from the movie itself, but I just really like the way that this looks. So before we talk about the minifigures, I will go and build up the actual truck. Alright, so here we are with the second build. We've got a very respectable looking garbage truck here. And I can already tell you right now I am impressed, and I'm also kind of disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed with just the general, I don't know, I guess, build style of this truck, but it kind of matches the way that the sets are built according to Lego standards, pretty much. So you know, I'm not surprised here. I'm just a little bit annoyed. I feel like there are things that could have been done better. But you know, if you get this set, there's always the option to customize things however you want, or you know, just build your own. You know, that's the whole fun part about Lego. So I guess I can talk about what I like about this first. You know, obviously it's a really great looking garbage truck. You've got all the details, this nice shaping along the sides. You have all the details. You've got spots to for the garbage people to, you know, the guys to hang on here when they're doing, you know, a run to pick up garbage. You've got a spot for that on either side. You've got the nice cab, mirrors and everything. You can of course take off the top here. It's a spot, whoops, already getting into extra features here. There's a spot for the driver to sit as usual. Nothing too fancy in there, just a spot to sit, and the steering wheel of course. And you know, you've got all the decals from before. They obviously look better on here because you know, they're in places that make sense. And then you've got this big thing on the back, and that's at the same time it's the part I like the most and the least about this whole thing. I'll talk first about what I don't like about this. Look at how wide this is. This is 11 studs wide. It's 5.5 studs either way. You know, I can accept why they would, you know, use both of these large curved pieces on the back here. You know, it does look very garbage truck-esque using these pieces and stickers. I think that's fine, even though it's 8 studs wide. But then I really don't understand the use of these hydraulic rams, because with the function of this thing, these rams don't even move. But they stick out a lot. They add quite a lot of width to this thing, and that's, you know, really what makes it 11 studs wide. I mean, if I took these rams off, I'll just let that come off there. I really think that this whole thing would look quite a bit better, you know, apart from that knob. But you know, this already looks quite a bit better to me. You know, just don't have those gigantic things sticking out on the sides. You know, this already looks quite a bit better in my eyes. You know, just because it's not so clunky looking. You know, if I grab my other garbage truck that I have here, I actually brought this to my little studio area to show in comparison what these things are like compared to each other. You know, obviously this garbage truck set was originally meant to be a garbage truck, so you know, it's not exactly a fair competition, but just proportion-wise, you know, I feel like they could have left out these rams, you know, considering that they're not even moving. I'm a little bit annoyed by that, just how bulky it looks, because they're both 6 wide in the front here, 8 studs if you count the mirrors, but then this thing is very consistent on the way back. This one just gets fatter and fatter and fatter, and then it's like you go from, you know, 8 studs here to maybe 8.5 back here, 8.5 or 9, and then it's like boom, 11 studs. And this thing is just so wide. You know, if you have this in your you know, a Lego layout compared to the other vehicles, it's just I don't think it would look very good. And I know I'm kind of overreacting a little bit just for these silly hydraulic rams, but you know, that's just something I feel like they could have left out, and it wouldn't have been you know, overly missed. So you know, still kind of have to look at this as a 2-in-1 set. That's why I'm saying I'm still impressed with this, how good of a garbage truck and how good of a, you know, set this was, considering it's from the Lego movie, and they are actually able to make this truck as well as the vehicle from Lego movie. I think that's definitely very respectable, and it has a you know, definitely has a good look to it. But you know, there are definitely things that can change about it, but like I said earlier, you know, that's the good part about Lego. You can always change it if you want to change it. So I'll just show this. I've been talking a little bit too much, but this is the actual function of the rear of this garbage truck. It's a very simple mechanism, just turning the knob the other side here. You can also do this manually if you felt like it, and you can kind of see how this works. Here you've got an axis of rotation here and up here, like this, and that's what allows it to get not just that opening, but the kind of swiveling almost, like right there. That motion right there, that's pretty cool. And you know, kids love to you know, make things move without actually touching them. That's the fun part about Lego. You know, you can turn this knob, and all of a sudden something on the other end is starting to happen. That's the cool part about Lego. So yeah, I guess we can talk about the minifigures now. Alright, so here we'll just take a quick little look at the minifigs. You can see we've got the 2 sanitation workers here and the chef. Nothing new with the chef. All prints that we've seen before, and same with all the faces here. Nothing new. As far as I know, though, I've never seen these torso pieces or leg pieces before. So I think those are maybe even exclusive. I'm not sure though. Probably they wouldn't make exclusive things for the set. However, it is a Lego movie set, so kind of wouldn't be surprised if it was exclusive. You can see you've got nice sheen on some of those on the silver paint on those torsos. That's why I'm changing the angle here so you can really see that. And nothing special going on here with the backs. Just you know, I guess pretty generic. You can see kind of splotches on their, I guess those would be vests that they're wearing, reflective vests for their safety. And then you can see like splotches of stuff on there. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.